Welcome to the Musquamacut Beach Podcast, a podcast spotlighting the businesses, newsmakers, events, and memories of Rhode Island's historic Musquamacut Beach.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Musquamacut Beach Podcast. I am very excited today to have another returning guest, somebody who is always a delight and a riot to talk to. He is going to be hosting Friday night of Springfest, May 10th. Michael Petit, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Barber, how are you today, sir?
I'm good, thanks. So you're back in Musquamacut this year. You had a special at Sandy's Lighthouse last summer. And I believe I have that right? It was Sandy's Lighthouse.
Yeah, we did it. We did some comedy. It was a great night. Sandy's was awesome, and we went and had some seafood over at the Seafood Haven, and just all things New England, Ben.
Speaking of all things New England, tell me a little bit more about your show, Late Night New England.
Well, Late Night New England is your traditional formatted late night program. It was created to showcase comedians, actors, musicians, man-on-the-street interviews, sketch comedy, food, anything that pretty much is about New England. And we are in production right now. It'll be your standard traditional 30-minute formatted show. And we're excited about it. A lot of work, but a lot of fun as well, Ben.
That's fantastic. And when can people find that, and where can they find that?
So it'll be strictly on cable, available on cable access, probably within the next 30 days. And we will do a big media blast on all the social media platforms, the traditional Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those places where people can click, like, follow, and share. And obviously YouTube.
Awesome. That's fantastic, and we'll definitely share that stuff when it comes out. So we talked about in our last podcast last summer with you, which I highly recommend people go back and listen to. We talked about, how you got into comedy and how you started doing impressions and all of that stuff, and the great you told a great story about going to work for Casey Kasem and almost getting fired on the spot for doing an impression of him to his face.
It was the first day on the job. I was an intern, a coffee getter in Nervous. It was 1995, 96, and here he comes walking down the hallway, and I just walked up and said, "Hi, Casey. Nice to meet you." And he looked at me and he said, "Do it again. You're fired."
I love that story.
I learned quickly to, stay in your lane. It was more just nerves, to be honest. I was just nervous. I'm sure you've met people over the years and you just don't know what to do. And I just did what came natural to me, which was impersonating.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking about doing what comes natural to you, obviously comedy and hosting comes natural to you, and you're going to be hosting Springfest, the first night of Springfest, Friday night, May 10th, with Dirty Deeds, the AC/DC experience. Tell us a little bit about that. What can we expect at Musquamacut Beach?
So it's going to be great weather. May 10th. I'm now a future forecaster as well. The weather is going to be decent, and basically it's the Springfest. It's all the things that a carnival has, and I'm going to be able to host an MC and bring some fun and get people engaged and have a little laugh and pull up a chair and pop some corn, and just it's New England. We're so happy that spring has finally arrived, and May 10th, it's going to be a great night. This AC/DC tribute band, honestly, I know these guys. I grew up in Attleboro. They're from Attleboro. It's really, really, really good. I cannot say it enough. The lead singer, you'll close your eyes and you think you're listening to AC/DC, and that's scary because that's a tough voice. Take it from an impressionist. That's a tough voice to impersonate. But they've got the bagpipes, and a friend of mine who plays guitar, Sean Compton, owns the stage back and forth like Angus Young. He's got the outfit on, and it's really It is a full blown, and I use this word, production, and that's what they put on with Dirty Deeds, a full blown production.
That's great. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, cool.
That's so awesome. And you're gonna be performing some stand up at the festival too. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna do some stand up, and it's not the ideal setting to do stand up because it's a large venue with an open area, but it's just going to be keeping the audience engaged and making announcements and doing the things that we do as a host.
Absolutely. There's going to be there's a lot of stuff happening at Springfest this year. Funny enough, there seems to be two different camps. We sort of bookend Springfest this year with tribute bands. We have the Dirty Deeds, the AC/DC Experience, and a Whole Lot of Heart, who call themselves the Ultimate Heart Experience, who cover both Heart and as the actual band Heart did, they cover a lot of Led Zeppelin as well. And then right in the middle, Saturday, we have a full day of singer-songwriters. John Batdorf, Sam Wolf, Aztec Two-Step. So and then we have you bringing the fantastic comedy and acrobatics, a two person acrobat / comedy duo. They're going to be there all weekend for all 3 days. What I would love to see though is I just noticed on the poster a little bit earlier today that on Sunday from 11 to 3 there's going to be the first annual Lemon Car Show. Apparently, apparently you bring your junk car and you win a prize for the worst in show. I did not know that was happening. I think that would be hilarious. I would love if we got you down there for that.
Well, I think the Lemon Car Show is such an original. Will there be towing available?
Yeah.
Is it a one-way admission?
Right. Yeah. Is that the prize? The prize is we'll tow it away for you.
You can come in, but it doesn't mean you're leaving.
Oh, I actually feel a little bad. I'm trading in my car tomorrow, and I feel like I should hold off a couple weeks and bring it to this junk car show. I think that might be a good plan.
Sure. Sounds like a lot of fun, right?
See if I can make some money off of this hunk of junk before
Absolutely.
I trade it in.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night, great weekend. It's all things New England, and we are just going to kick off the 2019 season with the Musquamaket, Springfest. It's awesome.
Absolutely. What else have you been up to? Where can people find you? What have you been doing? I know Late Night New England is obviously something that's taken up a bunch of time right now. But I see you, on Facebook. I see you're constantly out there gigging and doing a bunch of stuff. So what else is out there for you?
Basically, doing my stand-up gig, Ben. I'm very fortunate. There's not a lot of comedy clubs out there, so I do a lot of private corporate functions. I do a lot of charity events, and it's just I'm very fortunate, very blessed to be gainfully employed, providing the services as a clean entertainer, an impressionist, and as a professional host. So they can go to Petit Productions, PETIT Productions.com to check out my schedule, or if they're looking for someone to provide some LOL and some laughter, that's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the difference? Like, what's the dichotomy? You said earlier that being an open event like Springfest, not necessarily the most conducive conditions for comedy. How do you differentiate in your mind? How do you go from corporate event to comedy club to charity to hosting something? I mean, those are under the same umbrella of comedy, but honestly, they're like four or five different skill sets that you have to have. So, is that difficult to go from one to the other?
Well, absolutely. It requires a unique skill set. I mean, you have to be able to know your audience, read your audience, interact with the audience, and something like a large corporate event. There's a stage. There could be a distance between you and your audience, so there's really not the opportunity to have that intimate, interaction or identity with connection with the audience. Whereas a club or a place where you can get down and really get close to people, So you really have to be quick on your feet, and you read the room before you hit the stage, and do the best you can. It's always people say, it's always different. Every day at the office is completely different, Ben.
Absolutely. I know that you love sports and grilling. Those are, besides comedy, I would say that sports and grilling are probably two of your biggest passions. If I can go out on a limb there, I would believe that would be true. And you hosted the show Grill Masters and stuff. So what are you looking forward to most? Obviously, it's been a very successful time for with the Patriots just winning the Super Bowl, and for New England sports teams, it's a great time. What are you looking forward to most this year about sort of the warmer weather and getting out there and grilling and tailgating and all of that stuff this year?
Well, I think it's a couple things. Grilling is a sport.
Right. I'm so sorry. Yes.
And there's something about, standing over an open flame where your friends are waiting, and you slap large portions of meat over an open flame. There's that very much a caveman-esque mentality, and it's a ritual, and it's the caveman. I go out hunting and gathering, and I come back and I serve you, and I hope you enjoy what I'm making. And if you don't, you can leave the party. But I think it's just hanging with friends and some family and just kind of getting together and really soaking up, the limited amount of good weather that we have here in New England. Really just being with people, and obviously before you know it, the Patriots literally start today. They started a training camp, optional training. Brady's not there, and we know how that all turned out last year. He didn't show up, and they won a Super Bowl. So I've got 99 problems, and the Patriots are not one of them, Ben.
That's awesome. Have you, are there any new impressions or anything that you're working on that we should be looking forward to?
Well, I'm just about to eat a sandwich. Do you want to hear my impression of me eating a sandwich?
I would love to hear your impression of you eating a sandwich.
Really, I had a good time, Ben. Really. More cheese. Hey, it's all about living in New England. It's the Mesquamaket Beach Fest. I can't tell you. I'm looking forward to it. It's what we do here in New England. We suffer through the winter, and then the good weather has arrived, and we get out and we do things, and that's what it's all about. It's miserable in the winter, and we're somewhat happy in the summer.
Absolutely. Right? And speaking of, I know that you got some plans to go out and enjoy the nice weather that we are so fortunate to be having right now. So I don't want to keep you any longer, but May 10th. Michael Petit, stand-up, hosting for Dirty Deeds, the AC/DC experience. It's going to be awesome. It's the perfect way to kick off Springfest, which, of course, is the kickoff to the 2019 beach season down in Mesquamaket Beach.
Ben, I need to hire you as my PR person. That was good.
Oh, thank you very much. So, speaking of, check out Petit Productions and follow Michael Petit on Facebook and all of the social media platforms, and check out Late Night New England when it debuts, or the new episodes debut in about a month. I'm very excited to see all of that, and I hope you share all of that with us.
Hey, Ben, thanks for having me on. We'll look forward to seeing everybody literally in 3 weeks, May 10th at Mesquamaket Springfest, my friend.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
Thanks, Benny. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
For more information on the events and businesses in Mesquamaket Beach, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and at mesquamaket.org.